Alright, so we are back, everyone, to the Let's Play of her story. I've watched over all the clips again. I have gathered a couple of things that might be interesting. You can see here I was searching for something completely ridiculous. That's largely because there's this one clip here. If I can find it. Yeah, this clip here. Where she's by herself and she's talking to herself. And I guess she doesn't keep in mind that she's being recorded. So, her fingers, she like taps out a series of numbers with her fingers, and I was trying to see if maybe that was related somehow to Morse code or something like that, but I think either my understanding of Morse code is highly incorrect, or I'm not quite getting I'm not quite getting what the what's going on with it, because it's not, the stuff I was getting doesn't make sense, and even though I typed it in anyway, it didn't bring up any videos. So I don't know, something to keep in mind for later. Maybe I'll uncover something later, or come up with some thought about how to figure out what that was supposed to be, because it seems way too deliberate to just have accidentally happen. Anyway, in case you didn't watch the last videos, what we've been doing is searching this crime database for interview footage of this woman who goes by Hannah. However, we found out that she talks about, you know, her husband being married to him, how she had a miscarriage and her parents died shortly thereafter, and how traumatic that was for her. Also, she talks about her friend Eve, who she apparently, they were friends, but she apparently hated her and attempted to murder her once, actually, by drowning, which is interesting. And then here in these last clips, the last day that we have, she, the same woman, or who appears to be the same woman, starts identifying herself as Eve instead. So, I'm leaning towards multiple personality disorder, but we'll find out. We have some search terms that I'll look up. I have quite a few of them, actually. One of them is based on this. Someone put the mirror game on this computer, and one of the first videos we have, way back here, in where she's wearing the blue shirt here, or jacket rather. Yeah, I guess shirt and jacket. Okay. She gives her address, but she also mentions that her name is a palindrome, and she seems to have an obsession with mentioning that it's a palindrome, and that that doesn't mean that it looks the same in the mirror. So we'll try that. Did I spell it right?
My name is Hannah. Hannah. It's palindrome.
I spelled it wrong. It's a palindrome, 1 L, not 2. It's not a palin. There we are. See, this is going to be one of the Eve interviews, I believe.
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was, but he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from letter 2. Told me it was a palindrome, well, that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Okay, so she was approached by someone in the club. Approached after singing. See if I can type. I don't know, I have a strange feeling that she must have been talking about, it seems like she was talking about Simon. Like, Simon found out that she was singing there, and I guess she seemed to say that he didn't know who she was, but I guess that could have been caused by the confusion of thinking that it was Hannah, and then actually find out that he was talking to Eve, but they had apparently spoken before. But I wonder if he knew that or not. And as far as the dreaming stuff goes, I wonder perhaps he had some kind of fantasy, or one of those things where you and your significant other act like you don't know each other and that you're different people, and you go out like on a date as these other people. That's the thing people do. So I don't know. It's very bizarre. Okay, let's look for mirror now. That seems to be significant as well. Ah, there we go. See?
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things. Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Okay, so I thought he was working at... They keep saying he's working at Glaziers, but I wonder if that's just the term for the people who glaze mirrors, like put the glaze on like windows and stuff. Simon worked at window place. Sure. I'm not sure what relevance that will have to anything, but maybe later we'll piece it together.
He wasn't present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Okay, so he made a mirror. Simon made mirror, but she didn't like. I don't know. She didn't like it. Well, I don't know why she wouldn't like it. It seems like a wonderful gift.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
Okay, so she put the mirror upstairs, which means she could have put it in the attic, and it seems like the attic was the place that Eve said she was hanging out at. So, and also they discuss wrapping up the broken mirror, after covering up the murder. So, perhaps that was the mirror that he gave. That would be kind of awful, wouldn't it, if Simon ended up getting murdered by the mirror that he made for them? Or Hannah, rather.
Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Alright, so she also apparently doesn't like to actually look into the mirror. However, so she's afraid of looking in her own reflection, I guess because of the obvious reason. But, so he gave her a mirror even though she doesn't like it. She doesn't like looking at the mirror. But he gave her one anyway. That's, I wonder if that was on purpose to maybe try and get her... Or actually, theory crafting here, just going kind of out on a limb here. If Simon knew that there was an Eve, and he hadn't talked to her for a while, but he obviously wanted to have an affair with her, because it is still an affair, even though it's the same body. It's different personalities. But if he wanted to have an affair with her, I wonder if he thought that the mirror would trigger Eve coming out. Yeah, and if he was trying to do that, then Hannah was always jealous of Eve and how much popularity she had with men. So if Hannah's husband Simon slept with Eve, I imagine Hannah would get fairly angry, and she has tried to kill someone before for being quite angry, so we'll keep that in mind. That's my little theory thus far. Gladstone Street. Okay, so Gladstone Street, that's not relevant. Their address is not relevant. I think I've searched for Simon before, but let's make sure. Oh, turns out I had not. How stupid of me. You think that would be relevant, wouldn't you?
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And border photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Okay, so that one's just a physical description of Simon. I'm not terribly interested, though. She discussed they went to holiday on Rome, so maybe that might be relevant later.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Okay, so we got a couple of names there. Just one real quick, I want to recheck.
It's the Rockington Arms.
Rockington Arms, okay. That might come up later, especially since my working theory thus far is that he was meeting Eve in a bar where she was singing. So, we'll keep going with that.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
Save the princess and climb the tower, huh? Okay. I wonder if is Amstrad a type of computer? I don't know.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Okay, so apparently this all started off, this was back in June 18th. And I guess she ended up finding his body later. So apparently it started out as a missing person case? Let's try it out. Yeah.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
So she skipped town on the day that went to Glasgow. Or the night he went missing. Not necessarily the night of the murder, the night he went missing, at the very least. So, I don't know. Let's look up Glasgow. Maybe she'll discuss what she was doing there. Oh, apparently she did quite a lot there. Well, let's get started. Figure out what it was.
I got in the car and I drove. and just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
That was a weird noise at the end there. I guess the detective was getting up. Tired. Okay. I know it didn't add some of the Simon ones to the session, but I don't think that his physical description is very important, honestly.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
Okay, wait, so I guess whenever she skipped town and went to Glasgow, that was the night that he was murdered, but she didn't know he was dead, of course. Of course she didn't know at that point. Oh man. Okay, I'm trying to keep track of all this stuff, people. I apologize. It's just so much to keep track of. There's so much information. How do cops do it? I just don't know. So she tried to call Simon. But that didn't work out so well, I don't guess.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, he must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Oh, well, of course. Watch time, alibi? Of course, since we've been skipping around in the story here, we do realize that later, Hannah explains that, actually, she falsified that so that it would look like the alibi was clean.
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Okay, so I guess they were asking her if anyone had seen her in Glasgow.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
So she scratched the car and went to the hospital? She went to the hospital for pregnancy? But at this point, would she not have already miscarried at this point? Maybe I'm thinking incorrectly about when the miscarriage happened. It happened when her and Simon were still together, but this Glasgow stuff was the night he was murdered, so she wasn't pregnant anymore because she was infertile, so she lied about being pregnant? Hit taxi, went to hospital. Whoops. I'm sure these user tags are supposed to be more useful to me. However, I'm just kind of typing in notes as I go. So she hit a taxi. Let's just search for taxi. Okay. No, this is stuff we already watched. This is probably where I've actually wrote down the word taxi in those videos. So let's look up seller. That plays quite a critical role in the story thus far.
Something was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
Okay, so all of the stuff that used to dispose of the body was from the house. Obviously, that would be true. So she's kind of said the cellar is where we put things we don't need. So I wonder if that is the reason he was put down there.
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So,
Okay, so she didn't like that apparently. Which of these are? Wait, I don't recall this one.
it happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost.
Okay, that's where she discusses the watch was her idea and all that good stuff. Let's search for the watch. It's obviously relevant.
He was wearing a shirt, with a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Okay, so it's a missing coat. Okay, these are obviously back, as we figured out before, back when she still thought that he was just missing.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
I wonder how often she has a feeling of being alone when she obviously has another person in her. I wonder how often she gets the feeling that they're there. I don't know. That's some weird stuff. I don't know much about multiple personality disorder. I'm not sure how that feels to the different personalities. Anyway, I'm not gonna get too deep into trying to study psychological disorders here. We can do that later. At the moment, we're trying to solve a murder mystery. So it discusses the wedding. Yeah, that seems fine enough to me. That's completely and totally enough to search for it again later. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry, I'm having to shift around here. I've been sitting for a little while. Oh, the pains and rigors of having to sit at the computer and investigate. Okay, so Eric seems to be coming up quite often. So we probably get some stuff from him. Yeah, there we are.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
I don't know, it seems like... Because Simon left the house because of argument. So it seems to me like, at this point here, when she's in the blue clothes and still thinks it's just a missing persons case, she seems really sincere about being worried about him and thinking that it's still just a missing persons thing.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Okay, wait, so... Yeah, that's the first hole in this missing persons thing. There is, all of their vehicles are at the house, but he is not there and he left. So he left the house and went missing, but all of the vehicles that he could have possibly taken are all at the house still. He would have probably at least taken the work van, right? So why are they still there?
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Oh, Eric, how dare you convince your friend to go into debt? Credit card, sure, whatever. Yeah, no, credit cards are great. They, as long as you pay them off and you spend responsibly. I don't know why I felt the need for that public service announcement about credit in you, but there you go. Credit cards can help you credit by paying them off well, and if you don't, then you go bankrupt.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Okay, so I'm not going to have that one session. It's not so important. But the that's an obvious lead-in to now search for Diane. And there we are. She has a good... Wait. Okay. Well, she has a guitar in that thing. That's interesting.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the Glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Okay, so she worked at the same place. She worked at the Glaziers too. I don't like keep calling it Glaziers. Why don't I call it just the window store? I don't know.
I mean, not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
I have. I find it incredibly disgusting. So, I'm sure all of those references would mean more if I was a British person, as she obviously is. I do enjoy MasterChef, though. I don't know why we're going to plug that show, but they have an American version of MasterChef now, and it's been going for quite a long time. And I actually find it fairly entertaining. I like that stuff. I don't know why. I just do.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Okay, so another possible way. Why does she have a guitar? The oddest thing about the whole clip is, why the hell does she have a guitar? I have to look. I have to search now. Yeah, okay, guitar. Maybe this is where she offers to come in and play it, and this is where she actually plays it. Well, let's see.
No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf.
Yeah, see? Simon didn't play no guitar.
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
Oh, I'm very confused. Why wouldn't you just say that to begin with? Yeah, that's 15, 56, 50. Yeah, like, why don't you just say, like... Why wouldn't you just say from the beginning, like, hey, okay, my guitar.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No, it's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. She pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind. So I think that's a good place to stop.
And then it gets weird. Okay. Plays Wind and the Rain. Is that an actual song? Or I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure. So that song is that song's essentially like her story, right? Like the story of the what's going on here. Like she was jealous of her quote unquote sister, who as far as I'm still concerned is just her alternate personality. She tried to kill her by drowning her, because of jealousy over affection towards a man. I'm going to go further on the limb and say that the man that they're jealous over is Simon. Simon probably liked Eve, but didn't have a reliable way of getting to her, which leads back into my theory that Eve gave a mirror to Hannah because the mirror would trigger her bringing Eve back out. Oh my. I am a wonderful detective. Add that. Here we go.
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock to dry. Oh, the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bones. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
No, no, really, it could be. So song gets weird. Yes, it sure did. I'm not quite sure that's correct. Legal? You can't make instruments out of people, right? I'm not right. I'm not wrong, right? I'm right, right? I think I have enough incorrect grammar and verbiage there. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there for the moment. I kind of have to consider what in the holy hell is going on here. Also, I'm having a thought. I'm considering... What is this time thing? Oh, it shows all of the things that I've looked up. Okay, so I'm considering at the end of the day putting all of these clips in order and just having a thing where it just plays. Well, I'm just going to play the clips from start to finish, so we get like a kind of more linear story regarding the interview process. I don't know if that would be interesting to anyone. I don't know if anyone would prefer that. But I'll kind of, if you think that being able to have videos that are basically just going to be watching the interviews in order, then let me know and we can I can get that going, because it doesn't seem like these clips put back to back are very long. It's just a matter of finding all of them, which hopefully I'll be able to do. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this one. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. I'm having a super awesome time thus far. This game's really interesting, and I will see you all next time.